Well, all right, folks, today I'm out here in part of the nursery where we've got black ground cover on the ground right here. We've got a couple of thousand emerald green arborvitaes out here. We've had our hoop here where we've covered up some things here going into early spring that we were doing some late frost protection with. And today I'm going to make an effort to clean all of this up, and at the same time we're open today, so I'm watching for people coming in here, potential customers. So I'm just going to kind of show you what my day looks like today. A lot of these emerald greens, or at least a percentage of them, 5%, 10% of them have died over the winter, and you can kind of see the ones here mixed in that are brown. And this particular section, for whatever reason, more of them are brown / dead here than as you go out that way. A lot fewer of them are, but we just potted all of these late winter, early spring, so they're just now beginning to break dormancy. And what I really think is that we potted a lot of them and they were dead as we potted them, and as we began to warm up a little bit, that brownness, the deadness, has really come out in the ones that are dead. But you'll see as we move down this way, there's a lot fewer of them with that dead brown color there, even fewer there, and hardly any down here. We potted these up later, so I don't know. But the bottom line is we need to deal with them. We need to consolidate space out here. We need to clean up, and we're going to extend our square footage out here today to allow for more plants to be put out here to grow out. We've actually sold quite a few of these, and we just need to straighten everything up. So we're going to need a lot more room to get a lot more plants out here for grow out for the summer, and we're going to probably move further over that way, add some more ground cover over there. We're going to, in the next week or two, hopefully get an irrigation system set up out here to make all of this a lot easier. So this is what we're going to be working on today. I hope you guys will hang in here and just kind of see what another day in the nursery looks like. Now I'm going to start out here today by just moving some of these out that are obviously not going to make it, or that obviously haven't made it. And there's going to wind up, oh wow, it's windy. There's going to wind up being a pretty big pile of these, when all is said and done here. But that's all right. And listen to me, guys, you got to hear this. And this is a tough thing to learn. It's a tough thing to get yourself accustomed to when you're raising plants. And look, we're not just raising plants here, right? We're investing money. We're making money. We're running a business. These plants represent lost potential money. So we have to understand that. One thing about raising plants is simply this: you're going to have plants die. So it's a hard thing to see. Let's say you paid $2 a piece for your plants, you potted them up, and a couple of months later, a whole bunch of them are dead, or some of them are dead, or even one of them's dead. You feel like you just rolled your window down in your car and threw money out the window on your way home. I guess in some sense that's true, or at least feels like it's true, but kind of the crowd of people out there that would like to have a nursery and would like to do a nursery but say, well, I don't have a green thumb, and the brown thumb and black thumb crowd, I'd kill everything I had. I hear people say that all the time. That's why growing plants is not just some kind of innate skill that you're born with. You can learn how to do it, learn how to minimize your losses. Sometimes plants die and you don't know why they died, and you don't think you did anything wrong, and you may not have done anything wrong. Sometimes they just die. They are living things. They get diseases. You can miss a spot when you're watering, if you're hand watering, and if you do that when it's hot, it won't take them but just a day or two when they're toast. So we got some dead plants here. But what I really want to focus on is the fact that out of many hundreds of plants, there's about 2,000, 2,200, something like that, plants here. I'm thinking there's about 100 to 150 that are dead. I really don't know the exact numbers. I'll try to maybe get an exact count when all is said and done here. But what I do know, let's say there's 2,000 plants here and let's say 200 of them are dead. What that means is that I've got 1,800 living plants, and these are going to be ready to sell in a matter of weeks. They've got to put on a little bit of growth. We're still waiting on a real good, long-lasting spring warm-up. Still early April here, about April the 10th today. So we got a lot of beautiful living plants, and we're just weeding out the dead ones. So I'm just going to keep working on this, see how big my pile gets over here, and I'll show you. I'll be honest with you with what I have and what's alive and what's not. There's no reason not to. So I'm just going to keep working on this for a while, and let's see what we end up with. I hope I'm surprised to the good. Now I'm making my way over here to where we do most of our potting. And I've started potting these emerald green arborvitae rooted cuttings. And this is what we're gonna be putting over there on our new space. So I got about our first 2 wagons done here, and I got about 950 more of those to get potted and get out there. And we got our work cut out for us, and we're open today. So, you know, while we're doing our chores, we'll be looking for folks to come and purchase plants. So a lot going on out here today, and how long this takes is just going to be a matter of how many interruptions I have, although I hope I'm interrupted nonstop. So that's kind of the deal out here. Like, I really want to be busy with customers, but I got tons of chores to do as well. So well, all right, guys, it has been 2 days since I began this video, and I just want to kind of share with you what's going on. As you can see behind me, we're beginning to get these emerald greens potted and get this area fixed as I had intended to do when I started this video. But the first day, which would just be a couple of minutes ago to you, but when I started this video, we were open for business and we had people start coming in almost immediately. Now, guys, I'm just sharing with y'all as we go here and as we learn and as we figure out what life is going to look like for us out here and how to do this business. But I don't even know what to call this other than to say it's a really good problem. But I haven't had time to do hardly anything except tend to customers. Now, that's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing. I'm so thankful for every one of them. We need customers, but we also need to get a lot of stuff done out here. And because we've got to be growing for later this year, we've got to be growing for next year. There's still 100 things that need to be done. We've got a garden that needs to be put in for ourselves. We've got all kinds of just family things that need to get done. And there's just constantly nursery stuff to do while we're open. So thankfully, as you guys just saw at least a little bit of, my family came out, my kids came out this morning before they started school, and they moved about 350 plants over here for me. It'd take me an hour and a half to do that by myself. They did it in about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes at the most, and just thankful beyond words for them and how much they do and what they bring to the table. But still working on getting all this in order out here. So it's gonna, increase our growing space by probably 25, maybe 30%, something like that. And that is significant for us. So this is going to be an ongoing thing. Later, I'm going to need to expand this again and again, and I'm going to need to move out further out into the field at some point. But it's like master the small space first. Get all you can out of your small space first before any of the rest of it even matters. People will ask me that. Like, people are coming by our sale and they're asking lots of questions. A few of our YouTube folks have stopped by and just asking, what are our plans for the 6 acres? Well, I don't even care what our plans for the 6 acres are right now. I mean, let's completely get everything we can out of 1 acre first, and we're not even close to doing that yet. So that's kind of our mindset. We're doing everything that we can to do that. We have been open now for at the total of about 5 days. It's a weekend and then a Monday and Tuesday that were beautiful. So maybe it's 4 days that we've been open, whatever it is. And can't believe how many plants we've sold. I mean, we've run out of plants, not completely out of plants, but I mean, our inventory has gotten very thin, and when people come up, it looks like there's nothing here. So I know I'm a little bit all over the place right now, but there's just a lot to do, and I'm thankful for all of it. I enjoy doing all of it, doing 12, 14 hours a day, every single day. But I'm incredibly thankful for how many people have found our nursery. You know, we're pretty invisible out here. So, you know, so far so good. And the task today is to continue potting these emerald greens and continue working on getting this area filled in and developed. And one of our upcoming projects will be getting our irrigation extended on out here. So a lot to do, a lot going on. Let's just keep going. Here all of them are. We finally got them finished. 1,000 emerald green arborvitas all potted up, and they're going to sit right here all year through the spring, through the summer, into the fall. And we're hoping that by next spring, this time next year, these guys will be ready to sell. So this particular piece of cloth going that way is about 45 to 50 feet long, and going this way it's about 32 or 35 feet long, something like that. I can't even remember. So now we're going to work on cleaning out this area, consolidating some space here, and getting this ready to do continued grow out. Now here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but as we're beginning to take this sheet of plastic and stretch it out and put it away, it's been kind of wadded up here on the ground, and this is the cover and the low tunnel that we use to cover up our plants on nights here in the very earliest of spring and the latest of winter, on nights when we've gotten down cold enough to have frost or even a freeze. And this thing has been an absolute lifesaver for us. It got some of our most tender plants off to a really good and fast start, and we were thankful for that. And now it's just been laying here, and it's collected some water, and we're trying to dump some of that water off, and it's heavy, and we're trying not to tear it, but it's pretty tough plastic. But you can see as we're stretching it out that it's just kind of a wet mess, and we'll take it around back somewhere and hang it up on the fence so it can dry, put it up the next day, and just save this piece of plastic because it can absolutely be reused. Plastic in a nursery is just absolutely necessary. It's just a critical part of having a nursery. I'm certain that that will just be more and more as time goes on, and more tunnels are built, and more coverings will be needed for various projects, and just increase in scale of everything. All right, folks, now we have consolidated our plants that were kind of the leftovers that were going underneath our tunnel where we had overwintered some things. Kind of pulled them all down to this end, those that are still out here. We freed up some more space in here for whatever we need to put in here. We're going to put some of our small oak leaf hydrangeas out here, and we're going to cover this hoop with a light shade cloth, maybe a 30% shade cloth for the summer, if that looks like things are going okay. Once it gets hot, we're not going to worry about doing that yet. And then we'll just grow out some oak leaf hydrangeas out here and some other plants that are a little bit more sensitive to full sun. If we swing around this way, more emerald greens out here all the way around. Lots and lots and lots of emerald green arborvitas. A whole lot of these will be ready to sell by mid to late spring this year. They look really nice. They just need to grow just a little and fill out just a little, and they'll be good to go. We wound up having about 60 of them out here that were dead. There may be some more over here in this row that we need to take out. The color of them just doesn't look right to me on some of them, so we'll just give those a little bit more time to see. But if you swing around this way, there's all our newly potted emerald green rooted cuttings, swinging all the way back around this way, and you can kind of see what we're looking at. So as far as this project goes, the next thing to do is run an irrigation line right out here on top of the ground with risers coming up off of it. We'll run a line here and a line right down through there so that we can cover this entire space. So be looking for that in the videos ahead. Not sure exactly when we'll get to it, but it's a pain hand watering all this stuff. So we want to be done with that as soon as we can. In some of our further away irrigation areas like that shade over there, this shade here, we've got irrigation in there, but we've got to get more. So that's what we're working on. Well, all right, guys, we wanted to show y'all something that we were doing there to just be making more space and continuing to build our nursery, increase our capacity, and continuing to make more ground space to grow plants on. And I wanted to take a few minutes and do kind of a state of the nursery after being open for 2 weeks. Now, this is kind of a question that we've been asked a lot. And when I say asked a lot, mostly by customers who are coming to our plant sales, but people are wanting to know when we're open. And the truth is, and this is what I tell everybody, is we haven't even figured that out yet as far as what our consistent weekly hours are. We really don't know. So right now what we're telling people is that we're open from 9 to 4 on Friday and Saturday. You can count on that right now. And so far we were open this last Monday and Tuesday because the weather couldn't have been any nicer.
It was a beautiful day. Beautiful day. And when it's a beautiful day, people buy plants.
They do. And we still had a good supply of plants from the weekend before. We're getting a little bit picked through, but we still had a decent supply of plants, so we went for it.
By Tuesday afternoon,
it was thin.
It was really thin, and we had sold out of about 5 varieties, and it was like, oh wow.
Yeah, so then Wednesday we had to really work hard to reload, and that's part of what we're having to figure out in this is how to keep our nursery full while we're staying open, because we're not hiring outside help at this point. That's just not even an option. We're doing all this ourselves. Our family's at home, but we're homeschooling during the day, so it's not like everybody's just free to be out here doing nursery stuff. So that's been one of the difficult things. What do you think? I mean, do you have anything to add on that or any thoughts?
It's just one of those things where we're trying to figure out how this is supposed to work, and we're very new at it, and so there's not a right or wrong answer. It's just trying to work out the details each and every day. And it's a busy time. It's springtime, so that means the nursery's really busy.
It has to be busy this time of year. We're done.
It's also springtime, which means it's a push to finish school. So you have to find a balance between both.
Yeah, because our kids, like, I'm not out here working by myself every day. I mean, for a lot of the day, sure, I am. But Casey and the kids have been so much help. And I know I mentioned that earlier in this video, but they've been so much help in this that I really could not be doing this without them.
It's a family project, and we work together, and you know, we don't hire anybody out, but our kids love having chores and love getting compensated for their chores, and so they're willing helpers because they like to get rewarded for their work, and so that's a good thing, and they're learning work ethic, and that's all great. Our oldest, as y'all have seen many times on here, loves it. I mean, absolutely loves it. And
sometimes I feel like I'm getting in her way.
I know. She's as much a part of this nursery as we are. And so we really, really appreciate and love the support and help that they contribute to the nursery.
And one of the things that was so appealing to me that drew me to this lifestyle change for us was the opportunity to work with my family every day, like physically work, labor, struggle through this, you know, outside labor, working, striving together every day. And I absolutely love it, and I love doing it with them. So the amount of help that's been has been tremendous.
At our household, nobody is bored.
Ever.
No.
So during our actual sale days when we're open, we still call those plant sale days because that's what we called them back when we were having a driveway sale. We'd call it sale day. We'd only have 2 or 3 or 4 of those a year. But anyway, when we're having plant sales, I'm out here by myself a lot. Chloe's out here with me a lot. We switch back and forth. Like Chloe and Casey will kind of man things while I go eat lunch, or if I've got potting to work on or whatever. So especially when you're out here, you and Chloe are out here, you got people coming up buying plants. Like, what do you think about, I mean, how is that going to you? Just kind of an honest assessment. Like, how do you think that is?
Well, it's kind of interesting because the honest assessment is I think it's going really well. But I didn't think about how long it would take for a sale, because lots of customers want to know kind of our story, how we got here, how we got started, how long have we been here. And so it turns into these conversations that you have with each person. And I'm meeting our neighbors that I didn't even know their names. And so that's kind of neat. And so as we're meeting customers, it's like it's so much more than just plant.
Okay, so that's something that I hadn't thought about at all. In fact, a lot of that actually happened today. So yeah, we're open 9 to 4, and then after that we do supper, then we do YouTube, then we get ready for the next sale. So these days sometimes never seem to end. But today, we had I think 2 people in particular who came today and visited for a while. They live, you know, up the road. anywhere between a few houses to a few miles, but we are considered neighbors because not too many people live out this way. And they said they've been watching us out here, for months, wondering what was going on out here as we built the shade house and gravel and all the rest. And they were so glad that we were finally here and open because they're plant lovers and they have a farm down here. And, we had somebody else come by today just sharing all kinds of things about their lives. And sometimes it's more than you want to know. And sometimes it's things that you're thankful for because you can be able to help to them, share an encouraging word with them, and we're all about doing that. And so like the actual people, the personalities, the conversations. So would you say you've enjoyed that, or is that off-putting to you?
No, I absolutely enjoyed it. I enjoy absolutely getting to know the people of my community, getting to know the people I live around, especially since we're new to the area. I absolutely enjoyed it 100%. It's just more when you own your own nursery, it's more than just like a retail setting because it's a community setting and you're getting to know people and you're getting to know their story as well as yours. Another exciting thing is when a viewer, one of you guys, stops by to say hello and give us helpful tips or
To buy some plants. Thank y'all.
Just share your generosity.
We genuinely appreciate it.
That's just amazing. I've loved every minute of it, and I love talking with them, and I love having conversations with them.
Yeah, that's been good. So when it comes to actually business and selling and the plants, like what do you think about? I mean, have you seen any surprises about what has sold or what has not sold, or that how much money people spend, or you thought people would spend more, or do you have any thoughts on that at all?
A few of the things that are consistent that I have noticed is that it seems like everybody loves a hosta. And it seems like from driveway sales in Paris to plant sales here in Florence, we still sell hostas. It's like you can't have enough hostas. Any color, they seem to love hostas. And so I guess it's just kind of that's the consistent thing. I guess the surprise here would be asking for flowered plants. I think that was something new that I don't know as much about when they want to know. They want color in their garden. And
people come up and say, I want flowers. Where are your flowers?
Yeah, what gives me color? I want color.
Well, that couldn't be any more vague. I just try to point to things that make a flower. I mean, I don't know what else to do because you guys know how much we have to learn about all these plant varieties and their growing habits and their growing culture. And we don't know on all these plants. We just try to be familiar with the ones that we have. And the world of annuals is a world that we haven't stepped into, and we know that we need to, and we're trying to get into it. We're a little late to the game this year because we just didn't know. But that being said, color. You gotta have it.
And then also people just sharing how many plants they've lost this year. That was a surprise.
Oh man, that's huge.
That was a big surprise to me. I didn't realize how many shrubs that have died in people's yards that they're trying to replace because of the harsh weather that we had this winter.
By the way, for those of you who live in the southern United States, or maybe anywhere in the United States, particularly in the eastern United States, and we had that really severe cold spell just days before Christmas, that has killed, I don't know of a Leland cypress that's alive anywhere in our county, and I literally mean that.
And boxwoods.
Boxwoods, rose plants.
I didn't know you could kill a boxwood.
All sorts of shrubs.
Forever.
Y'all, leave a comment below if that's common in your area. I feel sure that it probably is, but are there dead plants, dead shrubs everywhere this year? I would really like to know that. So knowing that, I went and loaded up on shrubs at a wholesale nursery, and here's the thing. They haven't sold very well. I mean, people buy a couple of them here and there. My price on them is great. The shrubs are beautiful. That's not what people are coming here to get. They want flowers.
They want color.
Their shrubs are all dead. They're complaining about it, and they want flowers. So I don't know. You go figure. I don't know what to think about that. It is what it is. Our shrubs are going to stay out here. We'll keep our price on them, and people will come keep buying them a couple at a time here and there, I guess. But I thought they would sell better than they have. That has been a little disappointing to me. And the last thing that we wanted to mention is just strictly business-wise from a sales standpoint, how things are going. And for me, I have been pleasantly surprised with how it has gone. I didn't really have a dollar figure in mind for where I thought we should be, 2 weeks in or anything like that. But if I did, I feel sure that we would have exceeded that. I don't really know, but we've been pretty busy, and we have a steady flow of people coming through here, and we look forward to a really good, hopefully, a really good sales day tomorrow. It's going to be Saturday, should be a pretty day, so we look forward to that.
Pretty days always mean a good sale because people plant plants on pretty days.
And that's the way it seems to us. So we're going to keep plugging along here one day, 1 week at a time, and keep sharing it with you guys. And we love y'all. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.